Samantha.
Hi.
I heard you wanted to discuss some issues with me, some concerns.
Yes. I wasn't really sure about coming to counseling, so I don't really know what it's about.
Okay. Well, I need to tell you before we begin that there is some confidentiality and consent terms that we need to discuss.
Okay.
And basically, the counseling session that we're gonna have, it's totally confidential and it's protected under the law. And that just means that I'm not able to talk about your case with anybody or even identify you as my client without written consent. But there are some instances where that's overlooked, and that's just instances where I have to have counselor supervision from my supervisor, talk to my peers to sometimes collaborate and figure out what exactly could do to be best for you. Also to talk to health insurance agencies and other referral agencies that I might talk to about collaborative services. But there are some instances where you're not protected under the law, your confidentiality is not protected, and that's instances of child abuse, dependent elder abuse, intent to harm yourself or others, and privilege. And privilege is basically a legal term that means that if you go to court and you say that you're in counseling, you basically waive your rights. And just also before we begin, I would just like to say that, I'm a counselor and I'm providing a professional service to you. And with that is that our relationship is going to be different than other relationships. It's going to be different in the length of time and what we discuss, and also our goals, things like that, of that nature. And because of that, we need to keep our relationship solely client and counselor. And that way, your best interests are always met. Okay. So now, I just like to always, in my beginning sessions, to take notes. So are you okay with that? Do you feel comfortable?
That's fine, yeah.
And at any point in the overall counseling session or sessions that we might have, you can ask to look through your file. You have that right also. Okay. So basically, describe the concerns that you'd like to discuss.
Well, I just turned 21. It's a big, birthday in my family. That means that you're independent and you're about to finish with college. And it's basically a good year for anyone I know. But I just found out that I'm pregnant. And I haven't graduated from my community college yet. And I'm very confused on what I want to do because I'm still early in my pregnancy, so it's like I don't know if I should, have an abortion or have this baby. I don't want to have it by myself, basically. I was with my boyfriend through high school and my first 2 years of community college, but since then we've grown apart. We get together sometimes, but it's not anything serious. It's not like he's asking me to marry him or anything like that. And then my mom's a single mother, and I don't want to go through what she went through. So it's like I don't know if I want to have a kid so young. I'm also Catholic, so it's like it's really against my religion. But what can I do? Living in this recession, it's like I can't even afford to buy formula. So I just have a whole bunch of issues. Mainly, should I have this baby? How's it going to affect my life? And how am I even going to take care of this baby, basically?
Okay. So you have a lot going on. Definitely I understand. You're 20, and this is a lot to handle right now. And I'm so happy that you came and you wanted to discuss it with somebody before it took over your life, before your emotions of stress and frustration took over. So I'm glad. I just wanted to let you know that. And then also, you talked about a lot of issues surrounding, your pregnancy right now. What in particular do you feel like is the largest issue with having this child or not having this child?
I always felt like there should be two parents because I didn't have that when I was growing up. So for me, not being with my ex-boyfriend, Daniel, it's very tough for me. I feel like he was a lot of the foundation in the relationship. He had everything going for him. He has a job, he has a car, he's in school, but it's when we're not together, it's what do I bring to anything? And now I'm gonna be someone's mother, so it's I really guess I have a low self-esteem, a low image of myself.
Oh, I understand. So the main thing that you're saying is that your issue with your boyfriend, the two-parent situation, is what is on your mind. And that's a great concern. Everybody has that concern. as you said earlier, you know, with the recession and everything like that, it is a big deal. It is a big difference to have two parents, but at the same time, you know, there's still a lot of benefits and there's still a lot of good things that you have going on with you and that you have for the future.
Okay.
And I just want to say, like, how long ago did you find out about this pregnancy?
Well, I didn't even know I was pregnant, and then my mom was, you know, asked me, when's the last time you had your cycle? Because I've been going to the gym, losing a lot of weight, and then I just ballooned up in weight. So I basically found out like two weeks ago.
2 weeks.
That I'm like 3-4 months, yeah.
Okay, so this is like pretty recent.
Yeah.
I mean, but basically, to focus on what's going to stress you out is not really someplace where you need to be right now. For your health and the health of a potential child right now, it's not good for you, and we should like try to focus on some positive things that could be possible. Can you kind of list the positives that might occur from having it, or if you're deciding to, if you're leaning to the other side of not having it? So just list positives of sort of both.
Well, if I don't have my baby, I'll end up probably finishing school this semester. I'll probably go on to college, get my nursing degree, and I'll probably have children later in life. But if I have my child now, I think that a positive having my child now, that's where like it escapes me, because I don't want to have a child that has nothing, because I have nothing. But a positive is that I would love the child with everything that I have, and that I know possibly my mother would help me raise it, so I'm going to be alone, totally alone raising it. Yeah.
So she won't help you, or she will?
She will. Like when I told her I was pregnant, she was like, you know, I'm not surprised that you're pregnant, which is something that like really hurt me. But on the other side, like I feel like this is her first grandchild. Why wouldn't she want to help out? Yeah.
Oh, so you're sort of like assuming that she will.
Yeah.
That she will help out.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing right now is that with counseling, I'm not sure what your expectations are, and I'm going to ask you of it. But before I do, I just want to say with counseling, it's not something where I can give you any answers. All the answers are going to come from you, and I will just help you work through those.
Okay.
And so right now, you know, mulling things over and thinking about things, I just want to tell you some positives that I notice about you. And I noticed that, number one, like I said earlier, for coming in here, that's a huge step. And that's a very mature step.
Thank you.
And I totally commend you for coming in. And I'm very happy that you're able to speak so openly about this right now. That's number one. Number two, I can see that, you know, by going to college and by mulling over the pros and cons and thinking about this, that you're really thoughtful, that you know, backtrack and you really think out things that's happening to you. And I feel like that is going to be a useful tool, you know, when we continue counseling, if we do continue counseling. And let me just say, I just kind of want a background, because you were talking about your boyfriend. Could you just describe a little bit about your relationship with him?
Well, yeah, he was my high school sweetheart. We've been together since the 8th grade, and I know his parents. It's been very like, I would say amicable, or we never really had any problems. Basically, it was a stable relationship. It's just that he wanted to go to school further away from where we live, and so that drove us apart, the distance, basically.
So do you currently talk, or do you not talk anymore?
Well, when I found out, yeah, we started talking again, because obviously he's gonna have to try to support this child also. I'm not sure how much our talk helped, but he does call for once in a while. Yeah.
Okay. So do you believe that by getting back together is solely going to be for the child, or do you still feel feelings for him?
I feel that we could be together, because we already had that stable relationship before the baby. But I mean, I don't want him to marry me just because I've had this child. Like, I want him to marry me for me.
And that's good to think about. I mean, your mindset is very ahead of the times, even though that, you know, a lot is going on right now, you know, you're able to still think about what's best for you. And that's ultimately what counseling is about. What is best for you, not what's best for society, not what's best, because with societal issues, like, you know, I just want to let you know that the situation that you're going through is not an individual problem. It's things that, you know, a lot of young ladies go through in college, out of college, and so you're not alone in that aspect, and I don't want you to ever feel alone. And during the counseling process, I would also try to, you know, refer you to support groups and, you know, some other, you know, agencies to help you sort of think out and plan out, since you're really good at doing that. And so, time?
Yeah.
Is that? Okay, so basically, so that's what I'm kind of sort of planning in my head to do. And if you're interested in continuing counseling with me.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so then I would love to further do that in our next counseling session. And before that, I'll be doing referral services and contacting people right now. So how's next Wednesday at 5?
That's fine. That's great.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you so much.
All right, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Okay. I didn't know the time.